Yeah.
Good. Well, anyway, my name is John Rodriguez, right? And the person who's recording is who?
Christopher Leon Johnson.
Hey, Christopher.
On this beautiful 27th of June.
Thank you, Christopher. And this is Joe. Joe is we're all community people. You can pass by. We're all community people, but there's been some problems when 248 Arlington, where Kathy feels that she's being victimized by certain individuals and certain and corporations, right? And it's been going on for a while with Kathy, and now she feels that in her building she's being targeted with certain individuals that are standing in front of her door. And then not only in front of her door, you have people following her, and then you also have so-called community people in meetings that they go to knocking her down, you know, for what she believes is right, because she's been in that building probably for 40 years or 30 years, right? Something like that. Mr. Joe here was informed probably some information about 240 Arlington also, which Kathy felt that she needed to speak to Joe. Joe is here, and they spoke about the situation in 248, and Kathy gave Joe some highlights of what's been really happening in 248 Arlington. And they worked out whatever differences Kathy or whatever Joe was told or misleading with some information, they clarified that, right? Yes. So thank God for that, because what we want is to have our community leaders together, not separated. There's a lot of people that's coming into the neighborhood, and what they do is they infiltrate, and what they're doing is they separate the same people that are living here, and then we're the ones that are being left out in the street, and we're the ones that have to move out, because there's a bigger picture to all of this. So what I know of Kathy, I know Kathy probably for 40 years. I know Kathy since Kathy has been going to the pizzeria. I worked in the pizzeria, and I'm much older than Kathy, definitely. I know Kathy since she's a young girl. Kathy went to school with my sister. Kathy worked with my sister, and what I know of Kathy is that she comes from a good family, a good background. Kathy is, if anything, she have worked hard to advocate for our community. This is what I know about Kathy. The problems that Kathy is having in her building is in a bigger picture. And I told Kathy today that this needs to be reported to the Attorney General, Letitia James. This has to be reported. I'm going to wait till the train has time.
Yeah, the trains are horrible.
So I told Kathy that all the information that she has to be given to the Attorney General. When it comes to any organizations, any non-for-profits or whatever, it has to be reported to the Attorney General. If there's people that are members of the Community Board, of the Community Board 5, if there are members in that Community Board, if there's elected officials that she feels that needs to be reported to the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James. Like Kathy said, so Letitia James knows some of these people. She backs them up. I said, well, it's not the same thing where you know, like I said, Letitia James, she's the Attorney General. She's going to show up everywhere, and people are going to stand next to her, and organizations are going to be next to her. But she doesn't know. She probably doesn't know what's really behind some of these individuals. You know, she doesn't know that person until it's reported, until it's on record. When it's on record and you report it, that's documented. Something has to happen. Some investigation has to happen. So this is the information that I'm letting the public know. I'm letting you know. But most importantly, I'm letting her know her rights. This has to be reported to a higher level. This is not really even a police matter. You know, this is a group of individuals that she feels that is targeting her because she's advocating for 248 Arlington, and there's corporations behind it, and there's other stuff behind it, and maybe she can speak about that a little bit. But the reason I'm here today is because I don't want my members from my community, like both of them, to be separated when we should be together. I don't want Kathy to feel that she's left off, she's left out, and she's by herself, and that someone is going to bring her character down. Because what I know of Kathy, she's a very good person, she's a good individual, and I have a lot of respect for her. And I want to thank you. Christopher, I want to thank you for taking your time to come down to record this, put it on record, and to listen to our cry and to listen to what we're doing, because we don't want no one to think bad about you either.
Yeah.
Because if you're out there and you have a freedom of speech in a public sidewalk, as long as we don't make a threat to an individual that we're gonna kill them, that we're gonna burn them, that we're gonna stop. This is not about threats. But if a person wants to express themselves, and you want to express yourself your way, then God bless you. That is your right, and I'm no one to take that right away from you. So we should be here together, supporting each other. And if Kathy, you want to express yourself now, this is the right time to do it. Joe, you want to say a few words? This is the right time to do it.
So you want to start, Joe?
Yes, I go. Hello, everyone. My name is Joe. Everyone knows me as Joseph. So I'm concerned about Kathy because I met her in the community meetings. I heard what she had to say over our building, and since I have free time in my hand, I figured I can assist with one of the gentlemen in the building, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So I want to know what's happening every time you show up with Sandy and with Alberto Scott. You're always attacking them because I'm there filming, for the public, positive activities, but I see the negativity that's happening on the side, and I'm also listening to the public at the same time. So most of the time I try to stay quiet, not intervene. It's just I intervened on that Saturday when Sandy was giving out the helmets is because it's a family park. I grew up in this park. So everybody here respect. Nobody likes cursing, nobody likes fighting. And I'm one of the individuals to let you know, like I said on the video, please, you can say whatever you want, but don't curse. That's the only thing that I didn't appreciate that day. Either way, I'm always going to be a volunteer. You're always going to see me, sometimes at City Hall, Cypress Hills, East New York, volunteering for everybody. If you happen to show up, express yourself, okay, but I'm just here to socialize, catch the social media, share with the community so they can change their way of thinking and come to these meetings, come to the community meetings and get help, and knowing that there's an area where they can go to get help and speak. By the negativity, what you're doing, it causes a fear and a gap of them not showing up. They're too afraid and they don't know what to do, and this is why they use the excuse not coming to the meetings, because we can have somebody speaking up, scaring them, and they don't know how to control their emotions, and some of these people are alone. Fortunately me, yes, I travel alone, but everybody supports me to make sure nothing happens to me. So I just wanted to make it clear that the way you're approaching, it's mainly towards the political party, but I'm going to be there recording, document, this is the community. We're trying to hear and address what's happening in our neighborhood when we come to these areas to complain. And like John said today, there's certain areas we need to go to complain and get it addressed. And this is why I'm here today.
So let me make a response to that. So look, let me make this clear that there's nothing personal between myself and Nurse. Like I said, me and Nurse go way back. I mean, the reason I actually was supporting her was, I know a lot of people, her name is Linda Sarsour. I made that clear. I actually donated to her campaign. I actually knocked on doors for her when she ran the city council against Mrs. What's her name? Mrs. Dahmer Diaz. And, she rightfully won her race. Now, for the past 3.5 years, the thing that she's done as a council member is really unbecoming. The bills that she has introduced that will never benefit this district in general. The votes, how she voted, the people that she supported along the way, the fact that she refuses to disavow herself for the people that she's been supporting. And recently she voted yes for the city, yes, where I understand that this district has a big sewer problem, but look at 240, I think we should go there very soon, is that she should have made a deal with them and say, look, allocate at least like $20 million, $30 million to restoring 240 Arlington. She didn't do that. So when it comes to her, this is mainly political, Now, Sandy Nurse has built her career since BK Rott and Occupy Wall Street by raising her fist, running around the street, and acting like this super activist and screaming and acting out in front of authority, to the point that they got scared away. So she's been doing that for years to get herself into city council. Why that I can't do it or anybody else can't do it? Why can't she could act out in the city council, act out as a member and act like a big time activist instead of a politician, but nobody else can? And second, I think you was there that day. I don't think you wasn't there for the day for the tenant for the land use thing. It was for the D situation. I think it was the day when the East New York Community, no, not Broadway Junction, East New York Community Land Trust, like this a few weeks ago, they disrupted a whole city council proceeding while it was going on. And they got kicked out. Now that get praised. While if I was to do it, or anybody like she was like Mrs. Kathy or anybody else do it, they get scrutinized. Why? Where's the double standard with that? Now, when it comes to Broadway Junction, because that's somebody blaming about Broadway Junction. Now, when it comes to Broadway Junction, I think I don't think you have any fear walking down those streets. Now, when we go to Broadway Junction, around there's a lot of prostitution that goes on in that district. A lot of prostitution. You can talk about trans equity all you want, and I'm for trans equity. But if it's not safe for anybody to walk through that area because of the rampant prostitution and the vagrancy, it kills the purpose, especially if you got kids. I care about. I have a 10-year-old niece, so I care about when she walks these streets. You never know. You might is a pedophile, a pervert around here might kidnap her and do damage because they're sexually charged. You know what I mean? And they don't know where and they have no money. So the come from that, you gotta understand there's always another aspect thing that she's leaving out. She's purposely leaving out. Now, I believe that the state senatorial district, it's loud. Trains are disgusting. So this state senatorial district is ran by Julia Salazar. Julia Salazar is the prime sponsor of legalizing sex work. Now, if you legalize sex work, we're under right here a big time train station. What do you think is going to happen when you have it's underground, it's dark? We think it's going to open up business. A lot of sex shops, a lot of porn stores, a lot of massage parlors, illicit massage parlors. I don't think you guys want that in your community, because once that happens, the quality of life is going to go down in this district. I think this is real peaceful. I believe that this area is really peaceful. Yeah. You don't want to walk around the street and it's loud, and you got guys that lurking out your kids because they're sexually charged, and there's nothing the cops can do about it because it's legal. I don't think nobody wants massage parlors all around Fulton Avenue, Fulton Street. Nobody wants that. Yeah. So that's why it's just like when it comes to that, it's just like Sandy. It's just all political, and there's nothing. I have nothing personal against. I don't believe in personality. I judge what a person does. I don't judge by their race. I don't judge by their skin color. I don't judge by their sex. I judge by a person with their character, right. And her character is not good. She's not good. Even if I was decided, or anybody decided to go the nice route and ask her about 248 Arlington, she will never give people time of day unless you donate to a campaign or you're willing to drive around out of votes for her. And that's what she goes. That's what she goes about. She goes by the votes and she goes by the money, and that's what it's about these days. And the thing about Albert Scott is that Albert has a lot of votes. He has a voter block. And the thing is that she only listens. She goes to him every time she needs something, and she has him speak on behalf of everybody else. Not only on behalf of 248 Arlington, which I think is really disgusting because he doesn't even live in 248 Arlington. He lives somewhere else. He has his minion, Deborah Ock, speaking on behalf of 248 Arlington. They have Deborah Ock as the entitled tenant, who is the entitled tenant that they use with the help of the Working Families Party and the New York City DSA under the orders of Tenant Block, which is ran by C. Weaver, who is one of the main people that helped push the city yes, which will just completely, I can't show the store, which will completely get rid of places with low density housing like this, and turn to erected to high density luxury housing. Now, you have people like that saying things on behalf of places where they don't even live at without no real input from the real tenants like you, Mrs. Kathy. It does everybody a disservice because she could say, oh, I want this and you guys don't want it, and they listen to her and they put it there anyway because she want it. And it's not right. And nobody should, if you don't want something, why? It's like me. If I live at 240 yards, why should I say that you guys don't deserve a door? You guys don't deserve a better door. I just went to the door. I don't think you've been there. These guys deserve a better door. It shouldn't be like that. You guys want a better door. That's what it should be. Not I say you guys don't need a door, because it's all about keep staying in the pockets of these nonprofits. So that's my thing with Albert Scott. Now when it comes to the 240, when they say when it comes to the park, I understand it's a park, but people have every right to be inside a park. It's a public park. And they had no real permits to go. They had no real. They just did it because you're elected official. That's my response to everything you said. Yeah. And one more thing about the threats. I never ever made a threat to Sandy Nurse. I never ever made a threat to nobody in that office. I never made a threat to any nonprofit leader. I never made a threat to any community board member. I never made a threat to nobody, and let's make that clear. I never did.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, Kathy, you're gonna have to now tell Christopher exactly what you're going through in your building, who's behind it, with names, because that names. This is being recorded. This is gonna go to the Attorney General. So you're gonna have to. This is how we do it. You want to help. This is the help you got. You got 3 men over here from the community. Now you're gonna have to throw the names like what he just did just now.
And I want to
Not
make
by
this
he heard them.
before
Names.
Before
Put the names so you can get that paperwork to the Attorney General.
Before she starts, I want to make this clear to the people that are watching. I hope people hear the audio that the reason I have the right to call St. Nurse out because her office is located at 56 Pennsylvania Avenue. Now, when you do the maps for the polling site, since the new maps has changed, her district office is in the 55th State Assembly District. This is my State Assembly District, and I'll make this clear. My apartment address is 273 Buffalo Avenue, apartment 3H, Brooklyn, New York, 11213. I've lived there for 34 years, and my Social Security history can match and everything like that. This is no lie. I lived there for 34 years. So I had the right to call out. She put her city district office in my State Assembly District, so I have every right to call her out just as everybody else. And let's make that clear. So now you can go. Let's make that. Put down the record out there.
So I just want to say thank you for being here. And I just want to, I'm very excited that we had this conversation and we all on the same page. We clear the air and we all agree that no one has been or promoting any violence. And what has been said and misled on behalf of 248 Arlington, I mentioned here to
Joe.
And I also had text with Christopher and John that no one can speak on behalf of 248 Arlington and the experience that I have lived.
Yeah.
My story, no one can say my story. So with the experience that I have in the building, everything, the narrative has changed. We went to ask for help to help us as tenants at 248 Arlington, and yet what we have received, everything has been a denial and neglected, in the sense that we went to the community board 5, asking for support, and it came out that it was a chaos, and we felt like we were threatened, and we feel threatened as a 248 Arlington Tenants Association. And it is very, it's a shame that you as constituents, those that contribute in our community, and I can say that I have been advocating in my community, in our community, to bring awareness of what has been going on in our community. And I have not started now. I am a long-time resident at 248 Arlington and in the community. And we promote love, united, and to bring everyone together in our community. I thank Christopher for advocating and saying everything that you said, and yet I know and we know now that you never promoted any violence and you did not say any threatening, as you mentioned before, right? You did not feel threatened. I just want to make that clear. Right, it was just a cursing, and we have freedom of speech and we can say whatever we want as long as it's not a threat, and you did not threaten anyone. I mean, thank you for advocating for the tenants. Thank you for you bringing to life also a 248 Arlington. And for John, bringing it up to everyone, but I want everyone to know that we need help. We want to bring to the controller's office, to the district attorney's office, to everyone to highlight and see what has been happening in our community, in our building, 248 Arlington. And I'm not pinpointing at anyone because I don't know who is really behind all this. I don't know, but yet we were promised by Hannah and O'Shea, part of East New York CLT, who promised us to help us. I went to Cypress Hills asking for help. They have someone who is helping with the housing situation. I can't recall exact who the name is, but it has been like so many people that went throughout the years come and left out our community who are advocating or helping in our community. Yet I have not seen any progress of what has been done. Yet what I see is that all these not-for-profit and all these organizations are gaining more power, but yet we are left in this paper. So I want our community to continue or to be united. I want to bring awareness of what's happening at 248 Arlington. I want the community board that I sent the letter, we went there in person. I want that everyone come and say that we are doing something for our community, that we're advocating, that we don't promote any violence, and that we don't promote what has been said all along all this time. And it was a misunderstanding, and she said, he said kind of thing, and now we clear the air altogether with what has been said. I respect everyone. I respect our council member, Sandy Nurse, and I respect everyone that has been trying to help in our community, but yet nothing has been done.
Yeah, I want to make this clear.
In that sense,
I want to make this clear that, look, when it comes to elected officials dodging the people, like I said, they can say they can feel all they want. Nobody made nobody sign to go with politics. Nobody's requested anybody to get into this politics stuff, right? Politics is really basically a choice, what you want to do, because if you care about your community, you choose what you want to do. If you are scared of beating your constituents, even the ones that you don't agree with, this is not the job for you. And this is to Sandy Nurse, and mainly Sandy Nurse, is that you sign up to be a council member. Nobody signed you up. You signed yourself up to do the run for city council in 2020. You was planning to go into state assembly in 2019 against what's his name, Eric Dillon, but you refused, and you went to city council and you ran against Dummer. You got knocked off the ballot, and then now you got on this 2021, and you're on and you won about 30 points because a lot of people trusted you. You came inside. It's your job to tend to the constituents' needs, the constituents that helped get you in and the ones that doesn't get you in. When you are elected official, this is your duty to help everybody out, even the ones that you don't agree with. It doesn't matter if a person you don't like because they're Republican, because we all know that, I think people here know that she hates Republicans. It doesn't matter like you don't like them because they conservatives or they Dominican or they Guatemala, they Puerto Rican. It's not about that. If they need your help or they knock on your door, it's your duty to help them out as a city council member. If they live in your district and they knock on your door or they give you an email, it's your duty to respond to their emails and respond to their services. That's the point of being a council member, is constituent services. You're not in the state assembly, you're not in the state senate. When you're a council member, your main duty is constituent services. It's like here, like a tree. You should put a tree guard here. This is my example, like a tree guard here. You should put cameras on Fulton Street. You have a Fulton BID. This is your job as a council member. If you don't want to do that job, you should resign from office and give it to somebody that will do the job. Go work back at BK Rock because you work at BK Rock, or go back to be an activist in New York City to be at the Raise a Fist and fight for things that nobody cares about. But when you're a council member, that's your duty that's your job as a council member. It's not your job to be an activist. And I believe a lot of people in this community know that you're just an activist. You're not you're not an elected official. Because you're elected official, you've done the right thing for the constituents of this district. And especially when it comes to Mrs. Kathy, who lives at 240 Arlington, when you advocated for the City Yes deal, and people got to ask about the City Yes. The City Yes is 3 components. The City Yes economic opportunity, the City Yes for carbon neutrality, and the City Yes for housing opportunity. Now, the most controversial concept was the City Yes a house opportunity. I think people in the community start looking up the City Yes of housing opportunity. CITYOFYS-OF-HOUSING-OPP-OURTUNIT. Just Google it up. That allows developers to build what they want to build with no community input. Now, Sandy Nurse have 3 community boards. She has Community Board 4, she has Community Board 16, and she has Community Board 5. 2 of the community boards said no to that proposal. 1 community board said yes with provisions, like with modifications. She brokered a deal with the city council speaker to where she'll vote yes for the City Yes, despite 2 of the community boards saying no, and 1 saying yes for provision. So technically, it's like 2 out of 3 boards say no. So it's like anything in like a vote. Let's say 2 out of 3 say, if 3 out of 4 say Chris is a bad person, Chris is a bad person. Instead of her brokering a deal to say, look, I'll vote for the City Yes if you allocate $30 million to capital funding to restore East New York community, advocate to like.
Chris,
Huh?
I want you to wrap it up because I want to go into the problem that she had in her building.
Yeah, I'm wrapped. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
wrap that
I'm
up
wrapped
real
up.
quick.
So instead of her, Mrs. Sandy Nurse saying, look, I'll say yes to the deal if you allocate at least $35 million, $40 million into 240 Arlington, so I could do capital repairs, so I could repair that door, we could update the camera system, we could do the restoration that Kathy want to make her feel safe in her apartment, security system, what she got to do to make it. That's what capital fund does. It restores things like you could do capital fund to restore this whole building. She didn't broker that. She brokered $390 million to a sewer deal. $390 million to a sewer. That's an insult. $390 million to an insult, and she allocated $200,000 to nonprofits. The biggest insult to the community. So that's how making sure. Like, she did not do the right thing as a councilman. If you don't want to do the job, Mr. Sandy Nurse, you need to leave. That's my thing. So I'm ending right there.
I want to go back because
I'm sorry, John. I just wanted to highlight that none of what you had just said I knew. You understand? All this is new to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware, and also I want to mention that us as tenant, we never signed for any political to be done in our building. You understand? So none of that. All we wanted was repairs. Repairs, get live with dignity and respect, and then it turned out the whole narrative into a different dialogue. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they turned the building into a different and a political issue, which we did not agree on. We did not want to be part of none of that. So with that being said, in addition to everything that you just said, I just learned something new from you, and I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
And we as tenants, 248 Arlington Tenants Association, we did not know any of this, and we didn't sign for any political issues to be done or take actions of and be part of. So I just wanted to clear that with you.
Yeah, before, like I said, $390 million, she could have said like at least offset $30 million in capital funding or nonprofit funding to 240 Arlington. She could have done that. She just said $390 million into a sewer repair and $200,000 into nonprofits. It's on video. You recorded it. It's on video. Dominique, Andre, he was there, and he said this is what we got from the City Yes deal. And she celebrated with the Community Board 4 chair. Wow. So I didn't do that.
I just want to call. I want to call up on the controller. I want to call up on everyone who has power who has power that can investigate everything that has been done and said in the building. Okay, what was promised to us as tenants, getting repairs, getting the sewer done, the boiler done, and everything else. We deserve to live with dignity and respect in the building. Okay, we are tenants, and it's a 20-unit building, rent stabilized, and we open up a case with DHCR just because we want clarity and we want transparency on this whole situation. I don't know who's behind. I cannot mention names because I don't know who they are. Okay, I don't know who they are, but we want clarity and we want transparency of what has been done and said, and with all the money that has been allocated with our name, with our pictures, because that's what we've been saying all along. It would have been okay that you got or allocated money with your name or who elsewhere, but you did it with our name, with our pictures. We don't know what happened with the donations. We don't know what happened, and it was said that we were going to get repairs, that we were going to get a rehab, that we were going to get the sewer, the boiler, and still we're going through a lot of situations. Thank you.
Bless you again.
We're in despair. We're living in despair, and now with fear, because they target us, they harass us, they harass me, and I've been saying that for years. I went to the community board, I went to NYCdot asking for help. I asked the community board for support, okay? Not to point at anyone or say anyone's name, but we asked for support.
All right, so.
And instead we got thrown off.
Yeah, so let me go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Because everything that you guys spoke about, I have no idea what y'all talking about, because that's not what I was here for.
Yeah.
I was here just to make it clear, because Kathy came with a complaint that she has against the corporation and the individuals. So that, because now you're telling me that you don't know who's behind it. And now I'm a little confused, because I'm under the impression that you're telling me that there's X, Y, and Z. So in the Community Board 5, the names that you have spoken to me about, that he mentioned the name,
Albert Scott.
Albert Scott. You mentioned that name also when it comes to your building, that he's the one behind all this stuff in the building also.
Deborah Ock.
Albert Scott, and then who else? And then what corporation? That you feel that there's a group of them? What's the name of the group?
Well, Cypress Hills came to the building.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because if this is going to go to the Attorney General, she's going to say, well, then who are we going after? Because, I mean, you have to tell them the experience. Yeah, you have to tell them because
and it's
you have to
documented.
tell them, because we need to be clear of who's behind it. That other agency, what you mentioned, that's in the site in the community board. What is it that they go there? DCL, LDC, BPB, whatever.
East New York CLT.
CLT. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. See, you know that. See, so you need to go and you need to speak about that. To speak about the guy who's been standing in front of your door in the building.
Okay.
Speak about, because because what y'all talking about now, I don't know nothing what y'all talking about.
A lot of people don't know about it.
We don't. We're getting all this information.
No. But this is new. I don't know about it. To me, I'm talking about your building, the problem that you've been going through. That's what I'm here for. The problem. I'm supporting you with the problem that you got. That you've been harassed with the people upstairs on the 3rd floor, the lady who's been probably stalking you in the car that lives in the same building, Albert Scott that you said that goes to the building, that's been there, got in the business, and then they got Joe involved in that also. So this is the stuff that Kathy spoke to me about, and this stuff that I wanted to clear, because now y'all talking about elected officials and all. I don't know nothing about that. I'm here only because she feels threatened.
Yes.
And that's what I deal with. I deal with a lot of police issues, and I can direct you in a police issue. But when it comes to all the sanitation, buildings department, and all this other stuff, I really don't know much about that, because I don't deal with that. You know, I deal with the issue that she had and how she feels threatened. So you need to speak about that, because That's what's happening to you in your building. I want you to speak about that. I'll be right back.
Yes.
So talk
So,
about that.
yes, like
What's the
I
names
just,
of the people that you
I
told me?
just mentioned that I've been threatened, and all this is documented, where I have police reports, where I have postal reports where they were tampering with my mail, and all these documents. I went to the district attorney's office, and I went to ask for a protection, and because it was denied. I don't know exactly what the situation was.
Bless you.
However, what I want to say is that it's been years that I've been retaliated, I'm harassed, and pointed because I'm advocating on behalf of 248 Arlington, because I've been living in despair, and we are been living in a situation that I don't want anyone else to go through in the community. So bringing awareness. I really don't know exactly who these people are, but what I know is that I was harassed and they tampered with my mail, the lady from upstairs in the 3rd floor. Okay, and I have all the police reports, and I have everything where I went to ask for help, because I always go by the legal way, by the law. And I do believe that we can improve our legal system and our laws.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that we have good police officers. I do believe that we have good people in our community. Maybe that not everyone is doing their job, but that happens everywhere.
Yep.
That happens everywhere. So I want people to investigate what's going on with 248 Arlington. I want them to stop harassing me, going after me, sending me emails, and watching me, because all this I have said many times and bringing to everyone's attention. And addition to that, I have letters where one letter that the council member Sandy Nurse sent to this tenant in the building who was tampering with my mail. I also have letters speaking on the type of person that I've been all these years from Cypress Hills. It's just, we need clarity, we need transparency, and I want everyone to come together and not just ignore us, to ignore me. I want us to be united, not to cause any conflicts in our community, and just come together and work together. NYPD, our community board, our council member, whoever has power, everyone, whoever. And we're not targeting anyone, we're not being violent, and we're not promoting violence.
Yeah.
We're not. We're just people that want to live with dignity and respect. That's all. Thank you.
So you want to go to I want to see the building yourself. Let's go to the building together. Let's see it. Because you've not been
To the building now?
Yeah, you want to?
Not right now. I mean, we can take some time and go, and absolutely. I mean, you did the walkthrough, but we need to.
It's Colin, yeah. Colin season.
Now, just because I have things to do, I know that I took more than enough time here, but I want the tenants to be included.
Yes.
And I want them to come and walk with you and whoever wants to come.
Yeah.
And everyone can see what's going on and what we've been talking all along all these years.
Yes.
So yes, I want people to see it, and we've been transparent. And also, I just want to say that all my social media and all that has been compromised. I have made police reports and all that in regards to my bank accounts being compromised, my social media, everything has been compromised. So I just want to put it out there too, that being targeted, harassed, and retaliate. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just making sure because I mean, like we had a conversation at the park. I think we was talking about the park. He said you'll come and say. I say, hey, I wanted to see it. I mean, he offered to look at it. So letting you guys know. So that's all I gotta say. I mean.
And I did clarify that when he mentioned in the videos that he had come to the building, he did say he has not come, right? That's what you said.
So
he has not come to the building.
So what we're offering today, if you want to come and see right now, this is our offering. I mean,
you need another day because of the pollen and just to relax.
All right, just making sure. So I actually went inside the building with her, so to let you know. So they can't, Sandy Nurse or Albert Scott can't say I never been to the building because I think she was trying to, Hannah was trying to show undershade at me at the hearing and say that this people never been there. I'm like, now I've been there. And actually saw firsthand. So they could let you know, like, I was there last week with Miss Kathy and the other guy.
Other tenants.
And then all the other tenants. So I was letting you know. So
like for the harassment part, like I explained to her, cameras. She needs to get cameras. She's happy with what I showed her. When anybody approaches anybody, always have your camera ready with everything that is being said so you can document it and have the person that is saying it. This way you have the reference of what's going on. And this will be a helpful event.
It's about doing action. That's my opinion. It's about the action. It's not about just writing letters like that. It's about the action.
And Chris, right now that you're taking video, I just want you to say a few words of my persona, the person that you have seen so far, because I want that misconception of what they've been saying and they try to say about me.
What I've been going over, what people have been saying, is also based on 248 Arlington on Instagram, and how you're coming about it, because you keep repeating the same video of City Hall about Cypress Hills, East New York, complaining about it. But a lot of people don't know what's happening, like you explained today. Addressing, we didn't know all about this, about Sandy Nurse, where you're at, and everything else. Nobody knows this. All they know is to come to the meetings and to complain. And this is one of the biggest problems we're having here in the community, trying to get everybody to come to these meetings to speak up about their problems. Like I explained, was at the ending of the month, that's when everybody comes to their complaints. But we have other meetings at CB5 on the second floor that they don't come to officially document their complaints. We have been coming all year to make sure what's happening with these meetings, so I can document social media for CB5. Now I just got it Wednesday to add it with the 75th precinct page, so everybody could be aware of these meetings, how it's happening, so everybody can go have a better understanding, not to be afraid in the community to speak up. So I introduced it now, CB5-EYM to the 75th precinct. I just got uploaded when I get home today. This way everybody can be aware of what's happening and the concerns like she has right now for her building to advocate. So I just want to make sure with the social media, how you're going about it, that it's not addressing to her that you keep on complaining in a certain way because people may take it the wrong way. The only thing I have is the cursing part. I don't like cursing. We could talk, have a perfect conversation. I'll be calm and relaxed. It's just that when it comes around children, that's the only thing I get overprotective about.
Hey, I understand about the children, but when I say when it comes to elected officials and these so-called leaders, is that they have to be held accountable for what they're doing. This is not about galas and pointless photo ops and worthless photo ops and galas and all. That's nothing. That's worthless. It's about when you get that money from the city council, they get millions of dollars in city council. You don't get $1 million from the city council without the approval of the speaker. So I mean, if you're getting approval of the speaker, that means you matter to the city council. You don't get that money from the state assembly, state senate, which is and the federal government without something being done. Now they get all that
paper trail.
Yeah.
So she can go to the district and get the paper trail for her building, exactly what they put the money in.
But they refuse. They keep on, they're refusing. They always give excuses, and that's the problem.
There is paper trail. There is paper trail of all that's been said. But what I asked Joe, it was for you to speak about how
Kathy's a wonderful person. how she approached. She explained the situation. She's going through like a lot of stress throughout the years of everything happening to her. And this is outrageous in the community. Somebody would go through that every single day.
Yeah.
I know because I go through the same experience on my block, so I can corroborate the emotions that she's happening. It's just that a lot of people need to be aware about cameras to document everything, record any type of harassment, anything that makes you feel afraid. Feel free to record it, because this is the safety and quality of life of where you live, not to be harassed from anybody. Same thing with your information. Mailman carrier, FedEx carrier, and UPS and Amazon supposed to treat your mail like the government, because they could be held accountable and arrested for a federal offense tampering with somebody's mail, and that should not be happening. So it's a lot to do with security, and we need to upgrade it where she lives and go over these situations with the tenants and exploring what's happening really in the building.
Yeah, and like I said before about the situation with the door, like I said, like they get all that money, they should have put that money into repairs. Like, and that's a question I'm asking, like the councilman nurse and Mr. Albert Scott. Like, you're getting all that money from the state and the city. Why is that door not being repaired? Why is that happening? Where are the repairs? Where are the boiler upgrades? Where's the lighting upgrades? Where's everything at? What's going on?
The next question without the door is, I seen that people putting tape on it, blocking it because they don't have keys. How are we going to hold the tenants about not having those keys and leaving the door open and slamming the doors? That contributes a lot to breaking the door locks.
It's not about, to keep it real, it's not about that. The thing about it is that you should upgrade the door. My door, we upgraded our door about like 5 years ago. My apartment building is a private. They have some Section 8, but they upgraded their system 5 years ago. People slam it all the time. It's not broken like that. If it's broken, they fix it the next day. They don't play it. But the 2-4 Urchins get the same thing because it's a pre-war building. But and you cannot say that, oh, it's a non-profit, they can't, it's no excuse. Because if it was like a viable, I'm not saying that, but let's say there was like a popular tenant that lived in that, like a family member of a politician or a family member of like a big-time stakeholder that lived in that building, they get into a situation, they'll be on top of it. But because they feel that there's nobody in there of importance, they could do what they want. They could give her the finger. They can give the tenants a finger, and that's not right.
That's what's been happening to a lot of people coming to these community meetings, and they're not getting the proper help that they need. And I've been seeing it. This is why I said with social media, sharing it with everybody's going to improve where they need to go, how to make their formal complaints, and get to the bottom of this. And this is what we're lacking in the community that I've been noticing for the last year, almost every week.
But my thing is that it's the councilman's duty to address this stuff. It's their duty to address it. It's the members of the community board's duty to address it. This shouldn't be where like people are scared to address things because they scared of not getting a photo op from a councilman nurse or Julia Salazar, or they scared of not getting a citation or an award. This is about holding elected officials accountable as a community board member and as a person stakeholder community to hold your councilman accountable. Even that means that you lose the access. And I see what's going on here is that there's a few people like Albert Scott and some members of that board, they scared about losing their access. They're scared about not getting citations and proclamations and being invited out to these events and not getting photo ops with the council members, not staying in photos. They put that as a priority more than saying like, I'm here to do the right, they there to do the right thing for the people. And people like her suffer. And I see this firsthand. People like her suffer because
I've seen it from a lot of people since I've been going, and I've been noticing on that.
So it's like I said, I live in a district. I live in the 55th State Assembly district. Her office is in my district, so I write call out. But you live in a city council district. It's your duty to help. It's your duty to put this to address her concern. If you really care about her, it's your duty to put it to a concern because there's times that you as a man like have to really say, look, like, is it really worth her suffer? Do you want her to suffer on behalf of photo op, or saying I want to cover Sandy Nurse? I want to take pictures with her and take pictures of her. You have to say, like, as Jordan Line say, look, this means that I'm gonna lose my relationship with her to the point that I can't cover her. She's gonna unfollow me on Facebook, unfollow me on X, unfollow me on Twitter. She ostracized me. That means helping this lady out and doing the right thing for her. You have to do it. You have to make that decision. And I made that decision a very long time ago. There's people I used to work in these elected officials, and we are bitter enemies because I decided to help people like her out. Not just her, other people out in these communities. There's people, other places I help out, and I lose a relationship because I'm helping the people they don't like be helped out. And I put that to place. Sometimes you gotta, as a man, like you have to draw that line and say, look, is it really worth the photo op? Is it really worth the photo op with these elected officials? Is it really worth the access? Is it really worth getting those pointless citations and pointless proclamations? Is it, do you really care about her? Yeah, that's going to cost it. It's going to cost you citations and proclamations and standing with Sandy nerves. She gives you the finger. She ignores you. She takes you off the email list. She unfollows you on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. But if that means doing the right thing for her, that's what you got to do. Because you sleep well. I sleep well at night, knowing that I'm helping her. I sleep well at night. I say, look, I could have a lot of enemies in community board. I have a lot of enemies with Nurse Salazar and Gutierrez and everybody in the screen in the politics. But if that means I'm doing the right thing for Mrs. Kathy, I'll do it every time. And that's me. That's my life. I care about this stuff. I care about people like her, because I'm not going to let people suffer on behalf of a photo op. I don't care if me and my councilman get along, but if people suffer, I'm gonna get at you. That's my thing.
I just want to let you know that most of the distress that she's going through is social media, so we just got to make sure everything is clear about it, because I don't want her to be targeted. Because this is a neighborhood, like I told you in the park. I have no problem walking down there just to make sure you know what's going on. Same thing when I address about the cameras in this situation. Always record.
Yeah.
Ask the people. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And put them on social media. If you don't have the account, create one. This way you can have a profile. Every day, this is what you experience from morning to evening, because this is a timetable chart that you're creating of what's going on. This is the documentation to help you get your word better out to the community of what's happening. Because I can tell you, this neighborhood right here needs a better change. And I tried my best with the social media, but I'm going to bring up other concerns, like you said. NYPD cameras is needed on Fulton. You already heard that the elevator is getting put up in the middle of the triangle, because I asked for it. And I also asked again for other locations. But one of the main concerns is public safety for the people that live in our community.
But she's really anti-public safety. The councilman is really, I'm not trying to, she's really anti-public safety. Like I said, there's the things that you advocate for, and there's things you have to advocate for too, and you have to put this, you have to put her to account. You have to put her to accountability. Like I said, there's a councilman that I'm bitter enemies with, because I put him to the fire, and it really helped him lose his controller race. But we were really cool. We was real cool. But now we're bitter enemies because I put him to the fire that he should be put to, and he didn't like that. But if, like I said, that means that if I'm here to help Mrs. Kathy out and her people 240 Arlington to the point that I lose a relationship, then I'll do it every time, because I'm here to do the right thing. I sleep well at night. When I'm mad, I help people like her out, and she does the right thing. But as you, because you have this, it's loud. If you have this so-called relationship with Mrs. Nurse, it's your duty to really tell her what's going on. Not to where you omit this and refuse to say things because you're scared of not getting that access anymore with her office. And that's why I see with a lot of people in this stuff is that they have a certain relationship with these council members, and even they refuse, they don't want to risk losing it, so they stay quiet on things. And this is something that you can't be quiet on. Because
I'm learning everything new every day, every time I come out for
but like I said,
these events. And it's like I said, it's all about getting the community together, getting your neighbors together to speak up. And this is a lot of things that I'm seeing that is not happening and is dividing the community. Because by me trying to get my neighborhood to come and speak up about these things, then when they see the negativity on social media, that's when they're scared. That's why they don't want to show up.
But
do anything to speak up.
Yeah, but
so that's one of the concerns.
It's not about being scared. She signed up for her and Salazar and Velasquez and Reynoso. He's got and Mrs. Brisport and all the elected officials. They signed up for the job. Yes. Nobody signed them up. They signed up for this job because they want to get a paycheck. They feel they're going to get a paycheck, $148,000, $142,000. If they are scared of meeting the people that they don't want to meet, even when they're constituents of that district, they voting constituents, they should not have taken the job. They should have stayed. They should not take the job. Same nurse should not take the job as a council member. She should not take the job. And that's my thing. It's like, it just is like she addresses your concern because you're close to her, and she addresses Albert Scott concerns and Deborah Ox concerns.
A little bit now.
Mrs. Kathy should get her concerns addressed. Yes. And you shouldn't be saying that, and she only rewards you with a photo op, a worthless photo op, or worthless coverage.
I just bring my complaints, that's all.
But if she's not, like, that means she does, like I said, if she's treating you like that, you need to really hold her to accountability for that. Yeah, because you're one of the people that is giving her good coverage for probably free, right? For free. And if she's not addressing your concerns, that means she doesn't really appreciate you. Saying doesn't appreciate you like that. She doesn't appreciate her because she actually appreciated her. She would have done the right thing already for her building. Like I said, with that plan, she should have at least allocated some money to really restore that door. basically with that door.
And that's
But
why
like I
we're
said,
getting
if you're,
all the divisions like we addressed today that we didn't know about, all the political things that you said, we're unaware. We just know go to community meetings, go to the district,
Yeah.
and put these complaints in. The more we get involved in this, the more we get to learn the information and how to approach the situation a little better. And so does the community. It's all about justice to everybody, trying to better understand. Because people don't know what's going on. We have a lot of new renters coming in. They don't know the history of the community. And this is why you have a certain problems that is going on.
Yeah,
on a daily basis.
But
So-
who's bringing all these new people in? Who is bringing?
And that's what I'm looking at, because if I talk about my situation, my neighborhood, about what's happening, it's mainly the families bringing in their own families and just renting into businesses, and when they get in trouble with businesses, they just rent it to somebody else to wipe their name clean. That's what I've been seeing what's happening in my neighborhood. But when I've been going to the district over there, I've been learning about making complaints, who to file the complaints to, and a lot of the residents don't know how to do that because they're afraid, like what's happening to you, you're being targeted, and they don't want to be put in that situation, or it's going to affect their lifestyle, how they live, or their business. And this is one of the biggest issues that I've been seeing what's going on since I've been going to these meetings. So, like I said, I'm bringing the social media just to bring more awareness to the neighborhood,
no.
to address it so they can come to the meetings and use their voice. Like right now, I would say another petition for her building. She wants to get the people together and talk again. I would like to be there and record it and have it documented. This way we have it on record what's going on with the tenants, and this way the information is on video correctly, what's happening to every single floor, every single apartment, the tenants that are being involved, and it needs to really be addressed to the district to get better with the organization.
What I want to say is I can only speak for myself,
Yes.
for my persona. I cannot speak on behalf of all the other tenants. Why?
Only the ones
All
that
the
can.
other tenants are fed up with everything, and they have changed their narrative and everything that has been
The approach
going
over the
on,
years,
the
yes.
approach.
Yeah.
And they're scared. People are scared. You know what? People are scared because we've been retaliated, we've been harassed, we've been targeted, and I've been up the front. And everyone has seen it that has been working close with me, and those that know what has been happening, and there's paper trail with everything that has been happening over all these years. I went out to reach out to many people asking for help.
And nobody's giving it,
Asking
and they're just
for
giving it
help.
around.
We were promised that that door was going to have a new intercom, a video intercom, before apparently the sale took place of the building. Now we have a new owners, who the new owners are the East New York CLT, right? Who's under the umbrella of Cypress Hills. I don't know what the how it goes, the category. But what I want to say is, like, what happened to all the promises? What happened to the door? What happened to all the promises and about the ownership? So now we are left in despair. We're wondering what will be our future, what is going to hold our next few years. So now they're talking about that 10 years, which it was never said to us that this was going to be a process of 10 years. Now they're saying that now, but it was never said to us as tenants when we were having meetings before. Everything was, we were amazing. That was the perfect word. That was the word that we were listening for the past 2 years, that we were going to meetings. That I was amazing. That tenants were amazing. But now we're delusional. Now we're crazy. Now we're making shit up. No, we're not. No, we're not crazy.
I understand. The same thing with my neighborhood, Raphael Espinal, so I'll tell that story another time. Same thing with the political party, since we know a lot of it. Isn't it based on when we go to our district and they go to City Hall to fight for the budget, to get the fundings, and that money right there is what's supposed to be fixing the problems in our community?
Yeah.
That's what I've been learning.
Yeah.
Right now, that's what I was trying to go understand.
Yeah.
Because it's only like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, and if they're not putting in the money at that time period, that's what's prolonging the time of them fixing your property or going over, and they're just giving you the runaround. And that's what I'm seeing, what's happening right now.
Yeah, but they have priorities. She's in a district where she can get more money from the budget because of the income levels. But
most
she
of
can.
that is due to the voting of the community coming together to vote on it where the money needs to go. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they have paperwork, and that's what I just learned this year.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to address that.
And you was in the meeting, and so was I. And we're learning about how the budget works.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to know who's taking decisions on this, who's taking the final decisions on these votes.
It's the nonprofits, it's the nonprofits behind the scenes, and the lobbyists and consultants with the help of the speaker. And
So who's the lobbyist? Who's the consultant?
it's a lot of lobbying firms. A lot of lobbying firms. Like, you got to look it up. There's a lot of lobbying
What I
firms.
notice is they stay a certain amount of time, then they switch it, and that's when the information gets lost. That's my
Yeah.
experience with Raphael. So that's
I
what
didn't
I've been
know
noticed.
that.
Mhm.
I'm learning that now.
Yeah, because there's two budgets in the cities. There's a capital budget, and there's a discretionary. So discretionary funding is basically what a nonprofit can get to do what they got to do. So basically, they want to pay bills and pay their salaries and do programming. Like, programming would be like, they want to close down this block right here and do a block party. That's programming. And then you have capital funding, which does like infrastructure. So that'd be like in your thing. Like, she could have easily allocated money for infrastructure for two-player Arlington. She could easily done that. But
That's
she,
voted on the complaints that are being addressed for office. And
Yeah.
That's how it's going down. So if you have the least of the complaints, and the area that is having the most of the complaints, they're the ones getting helped out first. And that's what to my opinion, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But I noticed if you go to CD5, most of the people are from the other side of Atlantic that comes to the meeting compared to where I live at Cypress Hills. We only have few individuals like Mrs. Park up on top of the hill complaining about the music, and I'm on the lower hill complaining about the music too. And that's a concern when Raphael was in office. And this is where I fall into using my social media now to teach the neighborhood, what they're doing is wrong, blasting the music. Now the barbecues are illegal. We're not supposed to have that because most of the complaints and concerns and the fighting back and forth is due to that and how they hang out where I live. So that's one of the problems.
But you know what? A lot of people in our community lost faith. Why? Because our voices are not being heard in the community board. And that's why you don't see people from this side. You know how many people I have invited and we have invited throughout the community, but they lost faith. Why? Because there's only 2-3 people making decisions for everyone. And everybody needs to have their voices be heard.
It's like the prayer walk that they're going to be doing right now. There's nobody in my area because normally St.
Prayer
Peter's
walk? What is that?
prayer walk where they get the church and the community to come out of the community and they walk around in the community. So they're setting that up in another few more weeks.
Okay.
So I noticed that nobody in this area is getting involved. Only I think maybe Ramos is getting involved and towards that location. So that's what I've been hearing. And there's supposed to be a rally for Broadway Junction for the church that is also getting harassed. But they're going to be doing a rally with the people over there to walk around because I guess Pope is trying to buy the triangle building on Broadway
But that was
Junction.
bought by Total. That was bought, that's already
They're trying to get
in
the
the
church out
Europe,
of there.
all that, the Broadway Junction,
So-
but
They're going to have an event for that rally. And the same thing with White Castle. Everybody in the community that knows me is complaining because they're taking out White Castle and it's closing down in September.
and they're doing 100 and something,
198.
198 unit building,
And-
which is not fair. Did people in the community know? I'm sure that we go and knock on people's door. They don't know that this is going on.
Unless you go to the community meetings and you're on the people's Facebook and with the district, you're not getting the emails or information.
But that's
to be
the
up to
same
date.
thing.
That's-
When you mentioned my name on the day that they were having that event, I didn't know. And you said, "Oh, where's Kathy? Why Kathy's not here?" Because no one invited me. I didn't know. I was not aware that Cypress Hills or whoever was having an event here. So
Are
it's
you
like calling up
registered
on
with
name.
district,
No.
No.
But sometimes
You get no emails.
Yeah, but sometimes they take people to email lists anyway. She could do that. She
Got
take
it.
people email lists anyway. Like,
So far, since I've been keeping up with everything, they've been sending me.
that's you. But
and
it could be
they're
her. They could
But
take.
I don't think they're sending me any
They-
emails
they-
anymore.
They don't. She could.
They
You
will
could
block
easily.
you.
They're blocked. They could block the email address. Wait. Because I know this firsthand.
But I don't know if she's doing it.
Or her
I
team,
don't know.
or Team Bobby Damo, or chief of staff is doing it. Like, they could block your IP address They could block your IP address and that's how they could do it. They could just block your IP. They got this system. They could block your IP.
Being denied
Yeah.
the proper information.
Yeah.
The other thing with that also is like people showing up to community meetings. If you don't show up to the big council meeting at the end of the month, if you miss 3 times, then you're off the board. So that's the new thing that we have now. So you have to show up to the meetings, and I'm guessing if you don't sign the signature, that's the other part that they review and you have to email because there's a lot of emails to be sent out. So you have to be a frequent goer. So like me, my concern in my block is still there, but it's not as bad because I reported to the offices multiple times. But I'm going to be posting, like I said, I joined the social media just to share social media with everybody, to be more alert of what's happening. So this is why I'm here, to help out the community and share.
Well, I hope going forward that the more we have more conversations and coming together, that people just have awareness of what's going on in my building, 248 Arlington, and help us as tenants that we bring to light what's been going on. And I want transparency, clarity, that everything that was promised to us, ownership, new boiler, the new door, the new intercom for our safety, everything that was promised to us, that comes to life, that it comes through. I don't know, they took money for donations, they took money for, I don't know where, when, who's the person, the secretary, who's handling the money, the finance, and all that. Please, the more people that we have, that we get transparency and clarity, we deserve as the community to know where is the money, who's handling the money.
Have you tried on Thursday or Friday to go to Sandy's office when she has that free legal attorney that she has?
No.
They have that going on.
No.
Thursdays or Fridays. I gotta look at the information again. And they can go there, sit down with the attorney and go over. Listen, attorney, she has my information. I want it printed out because I'm being denied that information, and just see what they go from there and make sure we can document that, record what's going on presently, and have it on record.
But what I have to say to that is, us as a community, we deserve to know.
Yes.
We deserve to know.
Yes.
You're entitled to go and ask. Chris is entitled to go and ask. I'm entitled. Everyone is entitled to go and ask, where is the money?
Yes. And everything should be sensitive.
And it should be.
It shouldn't be where people ask for information, even nicely. I understand, become so. I get it, but if you ask nicely, it shouldn't be where you get say, "Oh, don't stop bothering with the stuff," and you get brushed off, and you get the finger,
Yes, I noticed that a lot
or you
with
get it.
CB5 with sending out emails and they're not responding. I've been hearing a lot about it on both ends, from the people, the public, and from the people they're reaching out to, like MTA and stuff like that, not showing up. So I've been addressing that concern in the community. So it's on the YouTube channel also. We only have one YouTube gentleman.
I'm gonna have to leave. I have to go.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to get something. Go and pick up a few things now.
I got it.
have to leave.
I gotta leave
I have
too,
to
yeah.
call the
Thank you for
tenants.
coming.
No
We're
problem.
getting together.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I appreciate
No problem.
each and every one. We got everything cleared.
Yeah.
We don't mean no harm.
Mm-mm.
We don't mean
We have a good
violence to
understanding.
anyone. We mean good for our community, for our people, for our community.
Yes.
Our community, and we are the community.
Yes.
We are the community.
Yes.
I'm on Facebook, correct? 'Cause that's where
Like
I'm
I
posting
said, I don't
everything.
have social media, and
Please.
everything has been, everything has been compromised. When I tell you that,
Bless you.
Please create one. You don't have to add me as a friend, but view the names of the people that are posting. And it's all public, and you have a lot of information. So I'm going to be trying more, like I
Yeah.
said, with Cypress Hills, East New York, and the community meetings to share with everybody. If any concerns you have, just let John know. I can walk down the block.
and it should be public. It should be public. What's wrong with publishing everything, bringing, tenants, bringing the community
Please get the cameras
together?
that I showed you. Don't make
You
a lot
know?
of
Mhm.
difference.
But I'm
The
gonna
head
get the
cameras,
cameras
okay.
for myself, but that doesn't gonna make me safe. You understand? Because
Yes.
anyone
Well-
can come from out of nowhere. You understand?
Yes.
You know how they've been following.
But at least we get a
Bless you.
profile of that person or what's doing. Like I showed you, the lady that tried to steal the mail today in front of my house. And I posted on Facebook too, to let everybody know that this lady's riding around the city bike and she's looking to steal packages. She gave an excuse that she's looking for a person that don't exist, and everybody in the neighborhood knows who lives in my house. And to come up with a different name, that doesn't go. So I blasted her on Facebook about it. She was just there for the package. And that's why I said, use social media, catch these individuals that are doing harassment, putting the fear in you. Even if you don't think it's them or you can't capture it, get a glimpse of them, and that will make it different. Do like a little profile, get a little external hard drive, and just have it and document it. Because this is what I've been doing with Raphael's and all. So I have my notes on everything.
I didn't know, as you mentioned, that he still lives here or that he's
Once he
here.
quit
I didn't
our
know
neighborhood,
all that.
That's what I started really going to the community meetings and got more involved to get on his case because he's my neighbor around the corner.
But me as a woman, I don't feel comfortable anymore after everything that happened. You were there, you videoing everything, and the way they approached it, and they make it seem like we went there to disrupt.
Yeah.
They made it seem that they call us like the 2-minute thing. No, we wasn't there to make a 2-minute thing.
First they
We were
praised you
there.
as good people, then they just switched it in the end. And
Yeah.
that's like what happened here, but since I use social media, they kind of balance itself out. It's about showing awareness.
So all we want, and we
Things are fun.
reached out, it was support. That's all we've been
Yes.
asking, to bring awareness, to bring support, asking for support from the community, from you, from everyone in our community, everyone that has power, that contributes in our community, that bring awareness in our community. And I thank you for every time that you guys now are here for us, with us, and by us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thanks. So, yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for everything that has been said right now. And we're in good terms.
Yeah.
We know that.
Check the YouTube channel.
Yes,
I'm gonna post
yes,
it.
I have to put everything. I started following up Christopher, and I thank you. And wow, my commands for you posting everything without even knowing us. We're not knowing us, you know.
Yeah.
We went to the community board.
Yes, for the video and the share.
Right, you shared.
That's what I'm here for.
Bless you.
I have to go and pick up my.
I know, the more you talk, the more I irritate.
Yeah.
So
So,
we're going to leave this a
all
short
right.
conversation. Thank you.
Thank
Hey, you're
you.
I'm
welcome.
going to stop recording.
Yep.
And anything from
Thank you.
now is just open the show.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. All right, well, thank you guys. Later.